Azari, and this is Small Quest, my quest Cape Ultimate Ironman. Together, we're going to complete every quest in Old School RuneScape in the hardest way possible, with only 28 inventory spots. Our final goal? Complete Dragon Slayer 2 and get our quest cave. Go, let's go. I'm just hitting some bronze and I got an EXP random. You'll love to see it. Put that bitch on construction. Perfect. No love. All right, we just got ourselves a willow shortbow. I also took some time to train up my smithing and mining, get some iron arrows. I finally used up all of those arrow shafts we had in our inventory that have just been sitting there forever. So I have 825 iron arrows and a willow shortbow. I'm gonna go save Spy Hill Giants until I am at least 28 range. I'm just gonna use up all of these arrows. And you'll see why we're doing this after Lost Tribe, if you don't know already. But what we're shooting for is 28 range at least. There's 28 range. Still have 500 arrows left, so we're gonna stay here for a while. But we're up to 28 hit points, 28 range. I guess I'm just gonna use these, so I'm probably gonna end up somewhere around like 30, I don't know, 33, 35, somewhere in there would be my guess. All right, we are shooting the last of our arrows. There's all of our arrows. We are also going to resell this willow shortbow, but that brings us to a nice 36 range, which is well over our other combats. I mean, not well, but a little bit over. Also got 25 prayer in the process, which is fantastic. We have some guam leaves and also some stuff just to sell. We've got a bunch of potato seeds for farming experience, which is really exciting. I'm gonna plant these north of our dough. For now, let's go sell this stuff in Edgeville and make a little bit of money. There it is, level 20 thieving. We're doing this because a handful of reasons. First one is we're gonna need it for Death to Dargish Sun. We'll get there when we get there, but we're gonna need to be able to pickpocket ham members. Secondarily, I wanted to secure another method of money making, which is to steal from the silk stall and sell that silk back to the silk trader. It's also part of the Ardoin diary. So, editing Ari here, I learned that this is a terrible money making strategy and I just needed the level. And now it is time to get into our questing. Our first quest of the day is Demon Slayer. Starting in Varrock Central Square, we speak to the gypsy in the tent on the western side. We give her 1 coin because she's a very cheap wench, and she tells us a story involving a demon named Delrith. Long, long ago, this demon was summoned to the circle south of Varrock, and a great hero named Wally slew it in its prime. We ask her how Wally did this. He seems like a pretty normal guy. And we get a cutscene explaining the magical incantation he used to banish the demon. Unfortunately for us, Delrith is on his way back, and we need Wally's sword, Silverlight. The gypsy tells us to talk to Sir Pryson in Varrock Castle, who can provide us with more information and the sword. We go to Varrock Castle and talk to Sir Pryson, who lets us know that he would be happy to give us the sword Silverlight to kill Delrith. However, it's locked in a case in his room and needs 3 keys to open. Unfortunately for us, Sir Pryson lost his key, so we'll get to that in a moment. The other keys are held by Captain Roven, head of the guard in Varrock Castle, and Wizard Triborn, a senile wizard in the Wizard's Tower. First and foremost, we're going to get Captain Roven's key. We will head to the 3rd floor of Varrock Palace and speak to Captain Roven, letting him know that we need Silverlight to slay a demon. Takes a little bit of persuasion because this man has a big fetish for his king, but he does hand us over the key. The next key was lost somewhere on the castle grounds. After a little bit of looking around, we find a grate, and inside of that grate, we can see the key. We take a bucket of water and wash the key down the grate, which sends it down to the Varrock sewers. Climbing down a manhole, not a man's hole, just west of Varrock Castle, we get into Varrock sewers. A little bit of navigation, a little bit of getting slapped, and we grab the 2nd key. Now the 3rd key is Wizard Triborn's. After making our way to the Wizard's Tower and talking to him, we find him to be a little forgetful. He lets us know that he has the key, he thinks, but he doesn't remember how to get it. except it's probably some weird incantation. He asks us to deliver to him 25 bones to do a spell to break his own incantation. We agree and fetch 25 bones by beating the ever-loving crap out of the local wildlife and goblins. And with those, Triborn summons back a closet where he kept the key. Fantastic, we have all 3 of them, so we return to Sir Pryson, who delivers unto us Silverlight, an incredibly wonderful sword that we will barely ever use. Armed to the teeth and prepared to take on the demon Delrith, we head to the stone circle south of Varrock. There we witness a short cutscene of Delrith being resummoned, although he is a bit weakened right now. And then we start our fight. We dispatch the wizard who is trying to kill us, and then take our sword to Delrith himself. Upon dealing the killing blow of his whopping 8 hit points, we recite the spell that we learned from Wally in his cutscene, and thusly Delrith is banished. The quest ends immediately after the cutscene ends, and we are granted with our completion 3 quest points, and we get to keep Silverlight. How nice of them. I'm gonna throw that on the ground and leave.
Our next question, lol.
Oh my gosh, sorry. I had a little goblin in my throat. Our next quest of the day is Goblin Diplomacy, which takes us to the north of Falador. Up here, we find an encampment of goblins led by 2 generals, General Bentnose and General Wartface. Really flattering names for both of them. They are currently engaged in a duel of wits. They're battling it out in the marketplace of ideals. They're having a petty argument about what color their armor should be. Being infinitely knowledgeable as we are, we came prepared with 3 types of armor. The first that they would like to try on is orange goblin mail. They didn't really like it. It kind of looks weird. So, the generals agree that they should try something different, something darker, something blue. We also have that in our inventory, so we hand them the blue armor. They try that on as well, and they hate it. They hate everything. They don't like any colors. They want something bland and earthy and a little bit brown. So we give them the final armor that we brought with us, a completely undyed goblin armor, and they come to the conclusion that brown is the best color for goblin armor. Good job, assholes. We're rewarded with a quest award, which is 5 quest points, 200 crafting experience, and a golden bar. Our next quest of the day takes us back to our favorite city of Lumbridge, where we speak to Sigmund, who resides on the 2nd floor of Lumbridge Castle in the same room as Duke Horatio. He tells us that something or someone or whatever broke into the basement of Lumbridge Castle. He wants us to talk to people around the town and figure out what happened. After we interrogate every single individual person living in Lumbridge, Bob eventually tells us that he saw a creature. It kind of looked like a goblin, he thinks, in the castle basement. We tell this to the Duke, and Sigmund butts in, being a racist asshole. And we head down to the basement to investigate further. We take our pick to the wall, dealing even more damage to the foundation of the castle. And we climb through our newest piece of property damage to make our way into an underground tunnel. Thankfully, we have a candle with us, and we find in this dimly lit cavern a brooch. Very strangely shaped, unrecognizable to us, so we take it back to Duke Horatio, who lets us know that he doesn't really know what it is either. He wants us to show it to Reldo, if we remember, is a gentleman we have spoken to many times on the 1st floor of Varrock Palace. We show it to Reldo, and he recommends that we take a course on goblin history, but we don't have time for that, so we're just going to read a book instead. We search every single bookshelf futilely until we finally find the book and give it a quick scan, and it seems like the brooch belongs to a tribe called the Dargish Sun, goblins of the strong spears. Reldo doesn't really have any more information for us, so we go to the primary source, the goblins in the Goblin Village just north of Falador. We talk to the generals of the Goblin Village and ask them about the Dargish Sun. We find out that they were exiled after refusing to fight, and they may have retreated underground. The generals show us 2 traditional goblin greetings to help us better understand goblin culture, and then we head the heck out of there. Now that we have been imbued with knowledge, we need to take that knowledge and make our way through the cave system that's attached to the Lumbridge basement. It is quite a labyrinth down here, and it does take some time to make our way through it. However, on the other side, we find some relatively friendly-looking cave goblins. We scare the living shit out of one of them named Mistag before we realize probably should have greeted him differently. So we do a quick goblin bow, and he realizes that we're not his enemy. He informs us that the Dargish Sun are actually peaceful, and they didn't mean to break into the Lumbridge basement. They were just digging and following a vein of ore and accidentally cracked through the wall. They really couldn't see what they're doing. It's pretty freaking dark down here. We take this information back to the Duke, and he's excited to hear that it was all just a misunderstanding. However, some of the silverware from the castle basement has gone missing. He has to assume that it was the doing of the goblins. Well, I don't believe it. So we head over to the Ham hideout, that's humans against monsters because they're really creative. Pick the lock on the trapdoor and head down in their super secret hideout. And in one of the crates at the very front of it, we find the lost silverware. Incredibly suspicious now, we head back to Lumbridge Castle and pickpocket Sigmund, who's been trying to get rid of these goblins this entire time. We steal from him a small key that was used to unlock a chest in his room. And inside that chest are ham robes. We report this back to the Duke, who fires Sigmund on the spot because Sigmund is a racist asshole, and the Duke agrees to sign a peace treaty with the Dargish Sun. We take this beautiful news to Mistag and kick off an amazing cutscene where Khazgar and Mistag of the Dargish Sun sign a peace treaty with Duke Horatio. Unfortunately for us, it seems Sigmund is planning something. However, that is the end of the quest, and with its completion, we gain 3,000 mining experience, 1 quest point, a ring of life, and access to the Dargish Sun mine. Alright, and this is why we wanted to do the Lost Tribe next. So, the Lost Tribe gives us access to Nardok's bone weapons, and more specifically than that, even the Dargish Sun crossbow. This crossbow is incredibly good for us, especially at this level. And the bolts that we need are supplied directly here as well. For now, we're just gonna buy 10 packs of them, which does hurt our cash stack a lot, but will provide us with 1,000 bolts. It'll last us a decent amount of time. Go ahead and wield those. Go ahead and wield the crossbow as well. And like, this is honestly an incredibly high range bonus at 46. I forget what the bolts themselves give, but yeah, we have 46 range bonus with this weapon, which is fantastic. Every time I am up here on the north of Ardoin, I have been doing a little bit of farming. I'm just trying to take some time to put, effort into this. Since we're gonna have to level it with time no matter what, I might as well do it now, I figure. It's been all right. I think we are currently at level 5 farming. Oh my god, so exciting. All right, we're gonna spend some time safe spotting moss giants. I don't need, but I really, really, really need teleports. It is so painful to have to walk everywhere. So if I can acquire some more law runes from this, as well as just gaining some magic levels to get to that point, that'd be great. I have only 200 casts. We're gonna use about 150 of them to get levels. I want to save 50 of them for an upcoming quest where I'm going to use magic for the primary combat. So for now, we're just gonna save some of this. Hopefully we can make a little bit of money too, because we're down to 20 coins. Our cash stack is absolutely destroyed right now. So we'll be taking everything we can. Let's also get us some prayer experience, which should be nice. So it'll be a nice little grind, and I will see you guys when we are done, when we have probably about 50 runes left. All right, so we are below 50 casts. And I have come to the realization that I'm going to need a lot more money than I thought I was going to. So we are going to go make some cash. I'm going to go cut down a bunch of trees, fletch a bunch of bows, and and sell those and yeah, try to make some cash. Thankfully, we do have Varrock Teleport now, which is an incredibly useful gain to have. Just to be able to even do that is an improvement. But we're only 26 magic. I really want to get this at least to 30. Probably, honestly, get it to be our highest combat and push it to 37 in the short term. But we need money. So I'll see you in a while when I have some cash. Yo, we got a quiz random. Let's fucking go. Please be good. I just gotta loop half of the key from my mystery box. Oh, if I can find a tooth half, that would be fucking incredible. But the odds that that's gonna happen are almost zero. Huh, I wonder if I can't get one of those somewhere. All right, we have completed our magic grind. We made about 6k, spent it all on runes, used all those runes at Hill Giants. I'm gonna go back and buy a little bit more infrastructure here. Just so I'm not completely washed out of runes. But yeah, we are up to level 33 magic, which is great. We have Telegrab now, as well as a handful of other spells. We have a couple teleports, which will be invaluable over time. Very happy to have that. And yeah, on to our next quest. Our next and final quest of the day is Death to the Dargish Sun. We start in the Dargish Sun mines, where we speak to our good friend Mistag, who asks us to procure 2 sets of ham robes. He wants us, the savior of the Dargish Sun, to show one of their kind the surface world, someplace they have not been in a long, long time. Now, as you might remember, we can't use the Grand Exchange or trade other players, which means we have to get all of our ham pieces from ham members. So, cue the montage. I've been here for like an hour and a half already. Don't even start with me. Get me the fuck out of here. Now that we have finally procured what we need, we bring the robes back to Zanuck. This part is redacted because I forgot to record it. She follows us around the surface world, talks to a bunch of people, and realizes it's kind of nice up here. Once she's seen enough, she explains to us how she got the mark on her forehead. Zanuck has a habit of sharing stories with Juna, a magical snake that guards the Tears of Gothics. One time, she did so and drank the Tears of Gothics, hoping for ranged experience, but all she got was this shitty brand. Allegedly, she's also got some prophecy about being important to the Dargish Sun and her face is gonna glow. I don't know, we skimmed that part. Zanuck realizes, though, that she does want to see the ham headquarters because she doesn't really trust that they're not doing anything. We don our full ham set, waltz right in the front door, and make our way to the back to talk to Johannes, the leader of ham. We ask him if he has any plans for those cave goblins, and he doesn't really tell us much. We just kind of imply that they're thinking about something. We leave the room, and Zanuck points out to us that there's a trap door hidden behind some dust and dirt just behind the speaker's podium. We pop open that sucker and head down, just to be confronted by a guard. Zanuck kills him dead, and then it is time for stealth, espionage, action. Zanuck has taken care of all the guards. We can eavesdrop on the door. We can't quite make out what's being said, but Zanuck can. And we get bonked in the head. We come to locked inside the jail in the ham hideout. We're not sure where Zanuck is. She didn't end up here with us. So we bust ourselves out because nobody can hold us in a jail cell, and we head outside to to remorsefully find Xanix's dead body. Now, fortunately for us, we're able to put her in our pocket because one inventory slot can be occupied by one feather or one entire goblin corpse. Something must be wrong. Her mark is glowing, but her purpose hasn't been fulfilled. She's dead. So we decide that we're going to take her body to see the snake Juna. We make our way through the Lumbridge Cave and... holy shit, we almost died. That busted our ring of life. Oh, fuck. That was close. Wasn't that big of a deal. I could just go and grab my stuff back, but it would have been really fucking annoying. We take a second crack at the Lumbridge Swamp dungeon, and this time we don't explode. And we brought food. And thusly we arrive at the Tears of Gothics to speak to Juna. Juna lets us know that this wasn't Xanix's time to go. And she convenes with Gothics, who agrees to bring Xanix back to life. We gather up some tears from behind Juna and give them to Xanix. Xanix's alive! She's okay! And she heard what was said on the other side of that door. Ham is preparing to destroy the cave goblins. They're going to use the River Lum to flood the caves and destroy all of Dargish Sun. Well, we obviously can't let that happen, so we teleport our ass out of there, grab Xanix from the basement because she put herself back down there, and head just north of Lumbridge Castle to the farm with the water wheel. There we can see some Ham members lugging various boxes back and forth, and Xanix comes up with a brilliant idea. We'll shove her in a box, and then we'll put that box in another box, and we'll mail that box to ourselves, and when it arrives, we'll smash it with a hammer. What do you mean wrong script? Okay, sorry, we're gonna put her in a box, and we're gonna carry the box downstairs so that we can get past the guards. Makes a lot more sense. Down below, we see Sigmund and a handful of guards preparing a very ominous-looking piece of machinery that very clearly is going to flood the Dargish caves. Being an adventurer, we solve a problem exactly how everyone solves their problems, with violence. And we murder all of the guards and eventually safe spot Sigmund until he disappears away, using a ring of life, like we used earlier, to keep himself alive. With the guards and Sigmund out of the way, we're able to destroy the machinery, thwarting their efforts and saving all of Dargish Sun. We head back to the Dargish mines, where we're greeted by the leaders of the Dargish, who thank us for our help and grant us our quest completion. We are given 1 quest point, access to Dargish Sun, 2,000 thieving experience, and 2,000 ranged experience. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.